Guten Tag alle, Herr Wallace here. Today we're going to talk about conjugating regular German verbs in the present tense. So here we have our subject pronouns, and we're going to work first of all as an example with the verb lachen, to laugh. So the infinitive form of most verbs in German will end in en or in. So in order to conjugate, the first thing you want to do is get the root of the verb or the stem of the verb, which is in this case going to be lach without the en. And then to this, in the present tense for regular weak verbs, we're going to add in for the subject pronoun ich lache, we're going to add an e. Du lachst, we're going to add an st. Lacht, he is laughing or he laughs. Wir lachen, we laugh or we are laughing. Ihr lacht, you all laugh or you all are laughing. Und sie lachen, they laugh or they are laughing, or even the formal you. One thing to state here at the onset is that in German there is no present progressive. So for example, in English we could say I laugh or I am laughing, but in German this is just ich lache, so it covers both of those. So if we have a bunch of verbs like kaufen, to buy, kochen, to cook, weinen, to cry, trinken, to drink, sagen, to say or to tell, machen, to do, verstehen, to understand, fragen, to ask or to question, spielen, to play, hören, to hear, rauchen, to smoke, lachen, to laugh, lernen, to learn, studieren, to study, and brauchen, to need. And we're going to use them to create or write these sentences in German. So for number one, I am drinking water. Well, this is simply going to be I drink water in German. So ich trinke Wasser. And that trinken, we're going to drop the en off and add an e to it because the subject pronoun is ich. First person singular, ich trinke Wasser. What are you drinking? We're going to begin with the question word was, and then trinkst is going to be conjugated to fit with the subject pronoun here, du. So was trinkst du? And I always say it's very similar to Old English, so what drink you, literally. But in English, in modern English, we would say what are you drinking? Do you hear the music? Hörst du die Musik? One basic rule is if you are forming a question in German and you do not have a question word like what, when, or how, or why, then you're going to start your question with the verb that is going to be conjugated and followed by the subject of the sentence. So here it's hörst du. We have the verb hören conjugated with the st onto the root of the verb hör, and it's then hörst du die Musik, or hear you the music. I need a break. Ich brauche eine Pause. Okay? And what are you saying? It's going to be what study you. So in German that's was studierst du. And here we've conjugated studieren to fit the subject pronoun du. We drop the en. We have the root studier, and we add an st because the subject pronoun is the second person singular du. Okay. A few more. I am cooking dinner. Ich koche Abendessen. Ich koche das Abendessen. What does he say? People say all the time, what does do and does? What is that in German? Here you have to think of it as Old English, and it's going to be literally in German, what say he? So it'd be was sagt er? So from an English native speaker perspective, this sounds a little old for us, what say he, literally, when we translate it. But this is the equivalent of, in modern English, what does he say? She is learning German. Sie lernt Deutsch. Do you smoke? Rauchst du? And what are you doing? Was machst du? Or literally, what do you? What are you doing? Okay, a few more. Weint sie? Is she crying? I am buying a book. Ich kaufe ein Buch. Remember in German that all common nouns, all nouns are capitalized. So in English we would only capitalize proper nouns, but in German all of them will be capitalized. She doesn't understand. Sie versteht nicht. It's almost like she understands not. Ich liebe dich. Okay, and we are laughing. Wir lachen zu laut. Okay, so these are all present tense conjugations formed from regular weak verbs. Okay, one thing to keep in mind is if you have a regular weak verb that ends in a T or a D, as is the case here with the verb warten. The root ends in T, wat. So you're going to have to add an extra E for the second person singular, third person singular, and then the plural use. So, ich warte, that's completely normal, just as we talked about with all the others. But now when you want to say you are waiting, it's du wartest. We have to add that extra E. Du wartest auf mich. Er wartet. Okay? So you add this extra E before the ST. In both the second person singular, wartest, and the third person singular, wartet. And then wir is normal, wir warten. And then here we're going to add it again, ihr wartet, and then sie warten. So when you have verbs of this type, such as reden, baden, arbeiten, laden, warten, then you're going to have to remember that. So he talks too much, redet zu viel. I am waiting on her, ich warte auf sie. Are you waiting on me? Wartest du auf mich? And she is working today, sie arbeitet heute. Okay, das war's. Vielen Dank für das Zuschauen. Ich hoffe, dass es ein bisschen geholfen hat und auf Wiedersehen.